Hi friends, got something a little different today. I'm going to be swatching this Paul Rubens 14 colors. It's the operas. So it is 14 color tubes, and show you here. I have already put them in pans here, the bright ones obviously. Had an empty tin. But these are the operas. So they all do have the names on them and the numbers. But of course it's a Asian language on most of it. It's called the Classic Watercolors. It says Paul Rubens, 5 mils. But anyway, so this is the packaging for it. It does come with the typical colors in here, but it also includes the swatch card. So I'm going to be using that swatch card today. Hoping I can get this closed back. And I just got this on the, I think it was $17 from Walmart when they had their same as Amazon Prime days, right? So 8th through the 11th. Just got them today, and I actually got also a 24 color, which I am not happy with, of the Paul Rubens, but I'm not even sure. I'm very leery of this one. The case was cracked. I did swatch them. They're very, I don't know, but not happy with this one at the moment. The tin is pretty cheesy, to be honest. Does have a thumb ring, well, but really the way that the pans are in there in a plastic, they're full pans, but they were all over the place when I opened this, so they were literally floating around. I had to push them down in here, but this was broken too, so. And you know, it does have one side here for mixing, which would be handy. And I will probably use this where I have on some of my others where I attach magnets. So I may do that so that I can use the tin to store some of them, just like I use this tin currently. This is just a random little tin. And I'll end up putting magnets on the bottom of those. But it does have a mixing area as well. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch these out. Now I laid them in here, but I do know the order that I put them in. So we'll start with the Opera Yellow. Get some clean water here, which is, and they're very, very liquid. Getting them out of the tubes was kind of hairy because it was like it got everywhere. They're like incredibly wet. So, but they're neons. These are the operas, which are like neon colors, which I thought would be fun. So I thought, you know, why not? Let's try it. I'd never seen them before. So that was the Opera Yellow. These are all operas. So this is going to be the Golden, which is very orange to me. Looks like a pyrrole orange, almost a lighter than a pyrrole. But I do like the idea of having the neons because it just could be fun. The orange red, you see they're so liquid, I probably just need to wipe off my brush and not even, you know, each time when I'm using the water just to keep it, because they're starting off so incredibly wet. I haven't let them dry yet, which will be interesting to see how they react. Let's see that one again because I feel like my brush was so wet. But yeah, okay, that's the orange red, and I'm just going to literally. The next one is the orange. This one here looks very much like the orange red. And yet I can see that difference. Like I said, these will be fun to do some kind of an odd you know, some kind of a different type of painting, different from what I've been doing. Then this next one is the light red. Very, very, these are, I mean, I love the neon. I just love it because I love my Opera Rose. So I could see me doing a floral with all of these colors and just do something really kind of fun and more, they're not terribly, they're pretty translucent. So they have some transparency to them. So anyway, it'll be fun. So then this one here is the red, which is really nice. I like this color. So that's the red. And then the rose, which was so thin that it bubbled when I put it in the tray, the pan. But that's an Opera Rose. Pretty much what you would expect on that one. I can't read any of the ingredients, you know, to know how they're made or anything like that, but I'm assuming, I can't, I'm not going to assume. Now this one is called Opera Pink as opposed to Opera Rose. And I really like that one too. You can see the difference. Okay. And then the next is the peach, which I thought was an odd name for this one. It doesn't look peachy to me at all. In fact, this one looks very much like the Opera Rose. The thing is too, one of the things that I found interesting was that in the one that I don't like, the other tin, the dry ones, there were two colors, the emerald green and the bluish green, and they looked almost identical to one another. So that's kind of the same scenario here. That does not look anything peachy. There's nothing peachy about that. So that one was really kind of odd. Let's do this. Grab some more of that. Just kind of put it here. I want to see how different it is. Not too different there. And well, obviously it's different from that. It's different from those two slightly, ever so slightly. It looks like Opera Rose. So the peachy would have been kind of cool, but it just looks just like Opera Rose. Now this one's Opera Violet, which looked pretty in the pan. And again, I probably need to let these dry completely and then see how they perform, but pretty much Paul Rubens, it's student grade. And I'm really, with the other ones, when I swatched it out, I was thinking, this doesn't even look, I bought the Mi-Liangs. Somebody in the comments put that in how I should pronounce it. But anyway, I bought the Mi-Liang, which is supposed to be the Paul Rubens student grade. And I liked it more than I'm liking the ones that is just the straight Paul Rubens, which I don't think that, I think it's just been, I don't know. I'm not sure that I've actually got what I thought I got with the bigger one. Anyway, that's the purple, which, you know, these are pretty much standard. I'm loving this light red, loving the orange red, even this one called golden. That's kind of like a lemon yellow to me. But these right here, I'm really kind of liking those. So let's keep going. Now the ultramarine, I don't know how you do which is pretty much what you would expect an ultramarine to be. So the opera part of it, not sure I understand what that significance is. So, and then the next one is the opera blue. Real fancy name there. It's the blue, which looks kind of like a cadmium cobalt mix. And it is bright. I'm gonna really, this next one is the green. Like I said, these could be fun, which is the only reason I bought them. I've never seen anything where it was just all opera colors and it was saying it was neon. I love the green. I love the green. I love these here, which are really neon colors. The pink, definitely. Opera rose, you know, is probably brighter than my normal opera rose. My Daniel Smith, or I think I have Holbein for the opera rose. I think it's, I don't know, that almost looks like my Holbein. But anyway, the green I love. I even actually like the red. I will have to let this dry to see this blue, if I can get it, because it's really, really wet in the pan. That was the second one that I put out of the tube. I really like the green. So anyway, that's it for today. I just wanted you to see these as I swatch them out a little bit. I'll let them dry completely and maybe we'll do some kind of a painting with them. In fact, here is my, before we go, here is my opera rose. That is the, I believe this is the Holbein. And it looks like there's something else in there. But I just want to see. Yeah, there must have been something else left over in there, but I can see it. It's in there. Let's try one more time to get this brush. I'll just get a clean brush. Let's do that. I washed these, so let's try one of these and get some of that out of there where I know it's just the opera. Yeah, not quite as bright, so okay, I'm okay with that then. I have so many palettes sitting right behind me. I could check any one of them. I could find the tube for the opera rose. But yeah, this has more of a purpley, and that's, like I said, probably something left over. But anyway, I'm liking the opera rose here, and I'm loving the pink and these and the green. I guess the ones that are disappointing me a little are the violet, the purple, and the ultramarine. But that's a pretty fair, I guess, review of these. I haven't let them dry, which I would think that coming straight out of the tube would have been a better way of really seeing them. But we'll see how they do when they dry. And I am going to try to find something to paint with this. I'm just seeing flowers, like really, 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 really bright flowers. All right, so have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.